Hi everyone, welcome back to Trees and Turtles. My name's Imogen, and in today's video I am sharing what is digital minimalism, or rather what digital minimalism is and how to do it. If you're not already subscribed, make sure to do that, give this video a thumbs up, follow me on Instagram, and let's get started. Alright, the first thing I want to say is this video is going to be in two parts. Firstly, I'm explaining the principles of digital minimalism, and then secondly, I'm explaining how you can do it. Alright, so what even is digital minimalism? So obviously you've heard of minimalism, and that probably brings to mind a white empty box room, or a mattress on the floor, or one pair of jeans. It might bring to mind the documentary by the minimalists, or a sort of a lifestyle of extreme austerity and deprivation, and I am here to tell you that while it can be all of those things, it can also be none of those things. Fun fact, I have been a minimalist in some form since I was about 16, and I probably don't look like your typical minimalist. I have things that I like. So I did practice extreme minimalism for a while, but ultimately I decided that was not for me, so I sort of rebalanced to a more, moderate version of minimalism. But anyway, I have tried out the extreme version. It was, interesting, certainly an interesting time in my life. I can make a video on that if you're interested, so let me know in the comments. But the first principle I want to talk about is basically that minimalism in the digital space is about simplifying your online life. So in the modern world, we are constantly bombarded with information. This video is an example of that. I'm bombarding you with information right now. So it's really kind of counterintuitive to actually intentionally simplify your online world, but that's kind of the beauty of digital minimalism. Alright, so the point is that you need to be intentional about it, because by default your digital world is going to be cluttered, it's going to be full of things, information, apps, music, all of that, and that's great, but sometimes it can cause mental clutter and affect your attention span. You can become distracted, confused, stressed out, and digital minimalism kind of acts as a counter to that. So intentionality is the first principle I want to talk about. Be intentional about your use of digital tools and technologies. Don't endlessly swipe or download a million apps just because you think you should. Okay? Evaluate the value that they bring to your life and eliminate or minimize the rest. During my digital minimalism phase, I was slightly notorious in my school for having only 17 apps on my phone, and obviously there's a lot of stuff on there that I need for uni now that I didn't have back then, but it was me being very intentional about really cutting down to a very few bare minimum things, and it did really help my focus at the time, so don't knock it until you try it. The second thing I want to say is mindful consumption, so consciously choose the digital content you consume, and avoid mindless scrolling, endless browsing, what I said before. Okay, the third point, digital detox. So you've probably heard of this, a bunch of creators have done digital detox challenges. If you're interested in that, I can do that. If that is something you would like to do, again, let me know in the comments. But periodically take breaks from your devices, from your phone. If you are scrolling on this video and you are not taking a break, put this video down right now and take a break, because I would not want to be a hypocrite on this video. Turn my video off and go have a nap. Sit by a tree, read a book, okay? Also, you could do this over days and weekends, so it's about finding the amount of time that works for you. Alright, quality over quantity. This is a massive, massive minimalist principle. The quality of apps and media is going to be vastly superior to getting everything all at once, if that makes sense. And focus on meaningful relationships and engagement. So rather than so engage in content that really brings value to your life is what I'm trying to say. Okay, next point, declutter. So regularly declutter your digital space. How many folders do you have? How many screenshots do you have? And a bunch of downloads on your computer from 3 years ago that was an article you found and you were interested in and then you forgot. So go through your downloads, go through your screenshots and photos and be you know what? I don't need this anymore. I do this regularly. Also, apps and services that don't add significant value to your life, they should go, especially if they're subscriptions, because then you're wasting money for nothing. Set some boundaries, okay? Establish clear boundaries. I know this is really hard because, technology is designed to be addictive, but define specific times for checking your emails and social media. And another good rule, actually, specifically for checking emails, never just check your emails. Always action something. If you're going in your emails, you should be archiving, you should be deleting, you should be responding, you should be adding tasks to your to-do list, okay? Never just go in your email idly, because then you're just wasting time on repetition later. Alright, so those are like the principles that I had written down. Now, how to practice digital minimalism. I mean, we've kind of touched on this in the first half of the video, but obviously decluttering, defining your boundaries around social media use, and being mindful of your screen time are all really going to help. Alright, you can also do the detox that I mentioned, but something else I want to talk about is creating offline habits, because it's really important to find something to fill that void, because if you're taking stuff out of your life, it can feel like deprivation, so you also need to put stuff in. So cultivating offline habits is really crucial. So this could be something as simple as, I'm going to use an example from my own life like I always do. If you know my channel, you'll know I love journaling. I'm obsessed with journaling. I have 25 volumes of journals from the last 10 years. So journaling, recently I've got really into going out on a walk, and I'll go buy myself flowers. What else? Yeah, exercise. I hate to say it, but you should probably exercise once in a while, because it's really good for you and for your mental health. Yeah, I like to try different makeup looks sometimes. You know, even just something as simple as tidying your room, refreshing your space, making it feel more like you again. Go buy yourself a bubble tea, okay? All of these things will be super offline, and sometimes you can just sit in the market square and watch the world go by, and it can be really relaxing. Or just go into a bookstore randomly, because I do that sometimes and it honestly makes my day. Find a cat to cuddle out and about, okay? There are things you can do that do not involve scrolling. Alright, create more than you consume. This has been a wonderful, realisation in the last few years. I barely watch anything on YouTube. This is probably a sort of a weird thing to say, coming from a literal YouTube creator who uploads once a day. But I barely watch anything on YouTube. I had a big phase in my teens where I would watch hours and hours and hours and hours, and never create anything. But here I am, I create I create every week, and I post every day. And I'm putting out more content than I'm consuming. Now, I do consume creators, but my channel is subscribed to fewer than 10 other channels, and those are the channels that really add value to my life, and they're channels that I really love, and they're big inspirations. And yeah, I'm excited every time they post. So create more than you consume. Try talking to a camera. A lot of people I know are really scared of talking to a camera, and I get that it takes time to develop confidence, and I get that video content might not be your thing, but try creating something. It doesn't have to be a video. It could be anything. Create, write a book or something, okay? Alright. The last thing I want to talk about is reevaluating regularly. So I don't want this to come across as being preachy or judgy, because everyone loves to scroll, everyone loves to watch movies, and I could not survive without my music, so digital minimalism is not for me when it comes to music. But reassess your digital habits and make adjustments. This is all to contribute to your well-being. It's not to fit into some artificial standard, and if it's negatively impacting your well-being, ditch it, okay? Ignore everything. If it's not helping your well-being, you should not be doing this. Okay, ensuring that your digital life aligns with your sort of evolving values and priorities is absolutely key. Let go of anything that does not serve you, okay? Alright, that is it for this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, follow me on Instagram, and I will see you next time. Okay, bye!